All right, here it is in all of its glory, the Nikon ZR. And I'm calling it Nikon ZR because let's be honest, this thing is still about 85% Nikon with that 15% red. But honestly, that 15% is what matters. This is my current go-to rig. Oh my goodness, I forgot how heavy this guy is. It's the Lumix S5 2X. So yeah, I got a PL adapter, so that's L to PL with a Blazar 65mm. We got a, what do you call this guy? Pro Blade, SanDisk Pro Blade, so I can record into SSD. Nikon, please give us SSD recording so I can use this guy in there, because I'm not gonna lie, I got so used to using this thing that, man, it would suck if I won't be able to. But it's fine, I have a solution already for the whole CF Express thing, but man. Yeah, let me get this thing down to its bare bones, and then I'll take a look at it compared to the Nikon. Here it is, not quite down to bare bones, but we still have that newer half cage on this guy, along with the PL and the PL Blazar lens and the PL adapter. But for the most part, you kind of get a gist of this. I'm going to be doing a more comprehensive kind of comparison between these two cameras, because I got this because I've been wanting something or some way to record RAW. And as soon as I saw that Nikon came out with a camera that actually has RAW capabilities, I was like, man, this might actually be the solution that I personally been waiting for, even though I'm gonna have to switch potentially from Lumix to this. The only reason that I'm even considering potentially doing this is because I don't have that much L mount glass, so I'm not super invested into this mount yet. If I was, I'm not gonna lie, a switch to this would honestly be a little bit of a bigger pill to swallow, but because I'm not, basically the only thing I needed was to get this guy, which is a different PL to Z, I think. Yeah, PL to Z adapter, which coincidentally actually just came in. So I'm gonna do a quick unboxing of this guy. The thought process there is that, you know, if this guy can do majority of what this guy can do, but also give me RAW and dynamic range, then why not? Why not use it? I'm still probably gonna be ordering a cage, either the half cage or full, I think full cage. This guy is so small as is, that I think a full cage would be just fine on this, and I wouldn't mind having the extra mounting points just in case. Not gonna lie though, this whole micro HDMI situation, not the best. I never liked micro HDMI. A friend of mine has the original Lumix S5, which also has micro HDMI, and he mentions that, you know, once you have kind of a cage and you rig it out, you have like the adapter, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, I believe him. It's one of those things where you can probably work around just about anything if you know, put enough effort into it. But so far, initial impressions, just opening this guy up, taking it out of the box, it feels amazing. I'm not gonna lie. I really like the weight. I'm thoroughly surprised by two things. It's both light, but it's also heavier than I imagined. So we have an Fujifilm X100 V or 5, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not gonna lie, just based on form factor, I thought this was gonna weigh and feel kind of like that one weight-wise. It doesn't. This one feels a little more robust. I'd say it has, yeah, I'd say it's pretty solid. Build quality compared to the Lumix S5 2X, I'd say they're comparable if I'm being honest. I'd say they're very similar. I actually upgraded from a Lumix G9 to this guy, and believe it or not, I personally would say this was a little bit of a step down from the G9. In general, the Micro Four Thirds series, the GH series, the G series, all of them were so tough. They were such like strong and robustly built cameras that even the full frame ones that they have, to me they were like not quite as solid as the Micro Four Thirds ones, but not bad. Nothing kind of like where I'd say, oh, it's poor quality. Still solid build quality. But this one I'd say is kind of, I would say on par. Very similar. Not like anything to go crazy and write home about. It's not as sturdy as anything like a Pixis or a Komodo, anything like that. I will say I haven't really gotten a chance to play around with the S1 Mark II, so I have no idea if this guy is as sturdy as that one, or sturdy or less sturdy. But compared to S5, S5 2X, S5 II, I'd say they're about the same in terms of like actual sturdiness and toughness. There's a little bit of a rattle though. I noticed that right away. I don't know if you can kind of hear that. That's that IBIS inside the sensors. So basically the way that works is a lot of camera systems, they have the IBIS, or vibration reduction as Nikon calls it, inside of the actual camera. And some camera manufacturers, what they do is they have a magnetic system which like locks the sensor into place when it's off. But not every manufacturer does that. I believe Lumix, well, let's listen for a second. Okay, you can't hear it, but it definitely is rattling a tiny bit inside. It's a very, very tiny amount. Nothing, not nearly as much as this guy. This guy, you can actually hear this guy. Yeah, when I first got my hands on it a couple days ago, I was at one of the stores and I heard that and I was like, man, that's kind of throwing me off. But did some research. Apparently, they all do that. Unfortunately, it's a little bit of just the way they were manufactured. Not a big deal, honestly. I don't think it's gonna bother me that much. I'm already kind of getting used to it. So long as I know inside, in my own head, that it's not a big deal and that it's not broken, I think I can get used to it. So I'm gonna power this guy on and we're gonna check out the settings. Since the PL adapter finally arrived, the PL to Z, it's the Viltrox one as well. So basically the same one that I have on my Lumix S5 2X, but the one for the Nikon, for the Z mount. So we're going to pop this guy open. If I can get this guy, yeah. There we go. I want to see how this guy looks like with an anamorphic lens on it. This is gonna be so trippy. Got paperwork. All right, that's basically it. A little tool right there in the corner. Nice. All right, let's put that aside for a minute. All right. Yep. Yeah, there it is. Exactly like the one I had there. Same solid build quality. I'm not gonna lie, Viltrox does a really good job. Yeah, that's solid. Really good tolerance. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, pop that open. Boom. Of course. Still like a gel packet. We'll eat that later. Right. Let's pop this guy on. Let's pop this guy on. Okay, I can't get used to. I'm not gonna lie. I forgot that Nikon was the one manufacturer, or the one company rather, that has their lenses mounted the reverse way from everyone else. Initially, I was like, bro, are they just trying to be different from everyone? Is this their way of trying to differentiate themselves? But honestly, from what I found out, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, apparently they were doing this for a long, long time. And that was the original way of doing it, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I honestly don't know the history, but all I know is it wasn't just this weird thing that they did to be different from everyone else. So, good to know. Anyway, if I can figure out how to pop this guy. There we go. All right. Let's, this guy popped open. Ooh, that beautiful sensor. All right, where is the red mount on this? Where the pin? Oh yeah, there it is. See the sensor kind of shifted in there a little bit. I think you lined it up with the white. Yeah, and then you go, see, it's so weird. You go counterclockwise. Oh, that was actually really tight. That was a really tight lock. Very nice. Okay, so far so good. That looks nice. You just have a little comparison between these two guys. We got the S5 2X. Just, I mean, come on. I mean, look at the ridiculousness of this, of that screen. It's just, it's wild. You have to see it. You have to see it to experience it. I mean, look at that. Just take a moment. Let's just take a moment for that. Like, what? What? That's insane. That's actually insane. Anyway, moving on. So let's quickly let's pop something on this guy to keep it protected. I'm already blaspheming in so many ways by keeping this sensor open. This is no bueno. No way. Hold on. All right. Now let's pop this guy on. Set it to the unlock setting. All right. We'll pop it on. All right. Nice. All right, that's in there. Let's lock it. All right. And it feels pretty sturdy. Oh my goodness. This feels so weird. Tell me why this feels weird. Okay, I actually just noticed there is actually a difference between these two. Yeah, actually, there's a pretty significant difference. It looks like the Z mount one, the PL to Z, sticks out a good amount more. Maybe not a good amount, but definitely about half a centimeter to maybe even a full centimeter. Quarter of an inch for all of us Americans. So yeah, it definitely sticks out a little bit more. Yeah, because I noticed, I'm like, holy, I'm like, it feels like it's sticking out more, but not bad. There you go. I mean, hopefully they give us that anamorphic D-squeeze that we've been asking for, because come on, with a screen this big, it would just be a sin to put an external monitor on this guy just to be able to have D-Squeeze. So we need internal D-Squeeze. I am praying that you guys are listening to us over there at Nikon Red, whoever's in charge of this right now. But yeah, this is gonna be awesome. I cannot wait. Guys, stay tuned, like, subscribe. We'll see. I'm gonna be posting what this footage is gonna look like. Currently, this is probably one of my favorite creative lenses to use, a 65 Blazar. 45 is solid as well. But this guy just looks so good. So anyway, stay tuned. We're gonna have some awesome stuff coming out.